Shalom, shalom. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Chakwadash. Give a double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace, love, and salutations towards your hopeful elect that's been sincerely pushing the truth. Again, I'm the brother Zakaria, coming at you from the GMS Camp in the church, back at it again in the spirit with another lesson in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah's name. Okay? Now, I do have a title right here, and it's called We Will Possess Edom. Alright? I'm going to repeat it. We will possess Edom. Okay? Whether these people believe it or not. Now, you might say, who is Edom? Who is Edom, or who is Esau? Esau, Edom are the so-called white people, all right? Or the so-called Caucasians, all right? Their true biblical names are Esau, Edom, according to the Bible, which you can get in Genesis the 25th chapter, really starting at verse 25, so on and so forth, man. Okay? Now, without further ado, I'm going to just jump right into it. So this is Revelation 13, starting at verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. Verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Now, I'm pretty sure all of us, on this earth know what that means. Okay? You should know what this term captivity means. In other words, it means slavery. Okay, it's a form of slavery, which we've been into time after time and after time. Now, what happened in the slave trade, etc., this will be our last captivity, which is up under these so-called white people, Esau, Edom, because he led us into captivity. We were sold unto our enemies for bond man and bond woman. Matter of fact, this is Deuteronomy. It's like you. Deuteronomy 28. I'm going all the way verse 68. It reads, And the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. In other words, we shall not see our homeland ever again. Okay? And Egypt, when it says into Egypt again with ships, that's clearly talking about slavery. Now, what nation of people who went into slavery again with ships? Now, clearly, we're not living in the times of the Egyptians again. Clearly. All right? Because we're in so-called 2023. We're living in modern times. And I have to say it like that because you have some simpletons out there who love getting smart. Okay? It says, And the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. In other words, we shall go into a form of slavery again with ships. And this is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt and Gomorrah, man. Sodom and Gomorrah in Egypt. All right? Because everything that was practiced in those other empires and those other kingdoms back in the days of old are being rehearsed and practiced here again in wickedness. Hey, the scripture says in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, it talks about how the wicked is exercising themselves in wickedness. Just roughly paraphrasing it. So, hey, what goes around comes around. They did it back then. They're doing it again today, man. All right? They're rehearsing or practicing every day wickedness. Okay? So that lets you know it's not talking about ancient Egypt. It's talking about modern times because, again, we came into slavery with ships. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans are the 12 tribes of Israel, man. So on and so forth. So-called Mexicans, so-called Uruguayans, so-called Colombians, so-called West Indians, all right? So-called Seminole Indians, all right? You're all the 12 tribes of Israel, Hebrew Israelites. And this is what happened to the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. Continuing on to verse 68, it reads, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt not see it no more again. Like I alliterated earlier, we shall not see our homeland ever again. And it's not Africa. Okay? Because we ran into the interiors of Africa. The Romans was actually persecuting us, trying to hunt us down. Continuing on in verse 68, and there ye shall be sold, there it is right there, unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. In other words, slave men and slave women, whether you believe it or not. Okay? And it says, and no man shall buy you. Okay? But we already got bought back with a price. And what was that price? Yahushua, again, that the whole world inwardly called God and Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son, true name is Yahushua. And he laid down his life to spiritually buy us back with a price. That price was his life. Okay? He sacrificed his own life to bring us back. The Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Wa call on La Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right? Now I'm going to go back to this Revelation. Revelation 13, going to verse 10 again. And it reads, he that leadeth into captivity, who led us into slavery, the so-called white people, the so-called Caucasians. However you want to call yourselves, you're an Edomite, the true biblical Edomites. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And these are the same individuals who was blessed with the sword. Hold on right quick. Fatness, earth. Let me see. Back in Genesis, the 27th chapter. Give me one sec. Let me read this right quick. Give me 1 second. I know it's in here somewhere. I might be jumping over it. Bless them. Smell of my son. Therefore the Most High gave thee the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Man, it's in here somewhere. I can't really find it, but Esau was blessed with the sword. Man, I know it's in here. Having a little brain fart. Here it is right here. This is Genesis 27. And starting at verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. In other words, they get to possess some of the greatest lands, etc., that's on the planet Earth. They can do and go wherever they please to, as far as the Lord allows. Because remember, the Lord has set the king's bounds at the end of the day. So he's free to do what he want for a season. And he's bound to do what he want for a season. But ultimately, he can't have complete control on what he willfully want to do, which is the MOTB, the New World Order, a new agenda, etc. Okay? But he was blessed with the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven from above. This man can go to Switzerland. He can go throughout Europe if he wanted to. He can travel to a lot of places that, we probably can't even travel to. I've never been to, come on, man. Let's be real. It says, verse 40, continuing on, and by the sword shalt thou live. So he lived by his sword. He raped, robbed, and murdered this whole land over here in America by that sword, man. He lived by that sword to get money, to get resources, different minerals, to own different property. Hell, to get us. He owned us. Let's be real. He owned us. But at the end of the day, we are Yahweh Bashim Yahushas. He thought he had one up on us, but little do he know he's going to lose. He know he's going to lose. I saw a video the other day. It was a top scientist. This man over here talking about how they believe that they can go further than God himself as far as creation and this, that, and the third. Come on, man. We're going to possess their ass. Because they got to be possessed, you know. But verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off his neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And he still hates us to this day. Come on, man. He said line up, get a S-H-O-T, spell that out, slurring and stuff. But spell that out. S-H-O-T. He's trying to make everybody get that finesse or the juice, man. And ultimately, everybody's being deceived, as usual. He still hates us to this day. He still used the sword to wear us out, man. We're worn out. But the Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that we're strong. The Lord put us back on our feet day by day. We can endure and continue in his name, man. The Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because we have an enemy out here who hates us. And we're getting worn out, man. It says, continuing on to verse 41. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning of my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. So he was talking his junk, man. He wanted to slay us. He still want to slay us. And he have slaughtered us. Remember, we're sheep that got led into the slaughter, man. That was cast out there with the slaughter. Just roughly paraphrasing it, man. This man slaughtered us. Look at the different terroristic ways that he terrorized us with during slavery. Just do a simple research on that. This man was cutting us from limb to limb, separating us from your brothers, your sisters, your sons, your daughters, your mothers, your fathers, your probably best friend. We were separated, man. Castrated. Gave us false names, calling us niggas, coons, and spits, wetbacks, rednecks, Mexicans, Hispanics, natives, Indians, Haitians, Colombians, Spanish, Spain. All right, they called us all these things. You know, I'm not trying to go on and on. It's just the truth, man. Kind of, it gets you moving in a way. Because this is actually what happened to us. They hung us on meat hooks and slavery from our rib cages, all types of stuff. We was treated like animals, like cattle. Believe it or not. I'm going to go to 2 Chronicles 28 and 17. The 2 Chronicles 28 and verse 17. For again the Edomites had come and smitten Judah and carried away captives. So that just further proves that Esau, Edom, you so-called white people, had a major role of always messing with us, man. Putting us into captivity, just doing things to us. You Hamites are not exempt. You Moabites are not exempt. But I'm speaking to us, you Edomites. You were smitten Judah. Brought them over here, whether it be us, we don't really know. But this is what we know. That it was us that was being put into captivity. That's what we know. Whether we be an Israelite from the southern kingdom or the northern kingdom. It was us, man. Smitten Judah and carried away captives. Yes. Oh, here it is right here. Verse 18. The Philistines also had invaded the cities of the low country and of south of Judah and had taken Beth-shemesh, if I'm saying that right, excuse me, and Ajalon and Judaroth and Shochu. Look, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing these words right, but these was all different villages of the Israelites, man, that they invaded, that they robbed and killed, man. And this is why I named the lesson right here. We will possess Edom. There's a big reap what you sow. And I'm gonna stop it right there at verse 18, man. You know? But these are just different people that had a different role who persecuted the Hebrew Israelites. And they all are going to go into captivity, starting with Esau, Edom. Alright? I'm going to go to Amos. I'm not going to be too long with this. I might just stop it right here and then do a part 2 either later on or tomorrow. Let me get this Amos. Amos 1 and starting at verse 9. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4 I will turn away the punishment thereof. Excuse me, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remembered not the brotherly covenant. So yes, I'm bringing that up because, again, Edom has a big role on why things happened the way it happened. Even though we fell from our glory, even though we, decide to follow after the heathens, etc., etc., Esau still had a big major role on separating us and not helping us, at all. We didn't really receive no help from this devil. Okay? It was all a part of prophecy on why we remember the name. A part of prophecy on why we was made to live again, man. Okay? It was our power who did it. If you got caught holding a Bible or any type of book back in slavery, they'll chop your hand off or your arm off or your finger sometime. You can actually look these things up. And in most cases, it was some cases, I did some research the other day, they'll put you to death, depending on how that man feel that day. Okay? And that's kind of messed up. But this is actually what we all went through. Alright? Continuing on to verse 10, going back to Amos 1 and 10. But I will send a fire on the wall of Tyrus, which shall devour the palaces thereof. And all these are also metaphoric too. Okay? It's talking about the heathens. Specifically Esau, Edom. Okay? Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, for 3 transgressions of Edom, there it is again, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. Because Esau is a big reap what you sow. Okay? Because he did pursue his brother with the sword. That's the same sword this man was blessed with. That's the same man who said, once our father died, I'm gonna go kill my brother. I hate my brother because of the blessings. Come on, man. Esau, Edom, you so-called white people. And I'm going to keep broadcasting it like that because the Lord is exposing you. All right? You can't hide no more. And really, by the looks of it, no one really cares about you. Everybody's starting to hate your guts. It says, because he did pursue his brother with the sword and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually. Yeah, because this is the same devil who has hatred towards us. By the look of us, he can't stand it. How the way we move, he can't stand. How the way we speak and talk, he can't stand it. The manliness and the spirit that the Lord has given Israel as a whole, his chosen people, the chosen family of the earth, Esau cannot stand it. Taking over all the sports. We doing all the dance moves. Jump the highest. Inventing things such as television, lights, stop signs, etc. They ain't gonna tell you this. But you know, it is out there. It is sources out there. You can get all the same things that I've learned, you know. But the point is this man hates this. He hates the fact that we are the salt of the earth. All right? The main ingredient. Okay? The flavor. And that's why he's angry, you know. And then the fact that a part of his blessing was he was going to serve the younger as well. And who was the younger? Jacob. Okay? Tough. Continuing on in verse 11. And he kept his wrath forever. It literally says, and he kept his wrath forever. How do we even know that he's keeping his wrath today? Look how the way he still kill us off. Or try to kill us off. Okay? What's another example? There's many examples. What's that guy name? What's that little boy name? Emmett Till. Another example. And outside of Emmett Till, you still have your so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans got killed off. What about the ones who got killed and it's not even in the records? It's not even talked about. What about that? So this man going down. Man, I got one more in me. Galatians. I might want to keep going. Galatians 6 and verse, let me go to 6. Chapter 6 in verse, hold on. Six. Bear with me. Bakusha. Be not deceived. This is Galatians 6 and verse 7. I'm going to start at verse 7. It reads, be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked. And he is not mocked, man. Everything that the Lord has truly said, first of all, is true, first and foremost. But everything that is written, it came to pass. All right? Or it's coming to pass. This is a book full with the spirit of prophecy of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. Okay? So he is not mocked. You got Esau Edom thinking he's God. He said it in the video. I saw this man say it. I heard the words of that devil. These people really think they're above God. He is not mocked, man. It says, be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked. Whatever they show you on these commercials, billboards, you know, digital screens, wherever you are, man, on the phone, whatever you might hear or see, do not be deceived. He's going to come with that MOTB. He's going to come with that CHIP. And it might look good to a lot of people. Be not deceived. For the Most High is not mocked. Continuing on to verse 7. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. You sowed bloodshed. You sowed lies. Okay? You sold a false reality, bro. A life that ain't really life. Imagine that. This is what you gave us, Esau Edom. Now you're going to reap captivity. You're going to reap a truly beneficial captivity. It's going to benefit us. All right? because it's rightfully so. Continuing on, but he that soweth the spirit, soweth to the spirit, shall of the spirit reap life everlasting. And this is why it's important for those who believe out there to keep believing, keep repenting until Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You know? Because you could lose this at any given moment. It's a scary thing too. Not saying that, that we're thinking about that a lot. Nah, man. But it is out there. We have an enemy who constantly loves, effing with us or messing with us. That's a better way of saying it. But little do this guy know he's going to get put down to captivity. I'm going to do a part 2. I still have a lot left. But I'm going to do a part 2, Lord willing, tomorrow or later on today. It's pretty much all I had. This is a part 1 video of We Will Possess Edom. It's going to happen. Believe it. Okay? Slaves. We're going to have slaves. The kingdom of heaven. All right? But enough said. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to close out by giving all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, Bahasham, Rakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders, great millstone once again. And peace, love, and salutations towards your hopeful elect that's been pushing the truth. And with that, shalom.